Hey, how you doing? It's Clayton Tini from the First Home Buyer Club. 100 lessons in 100 days, day 56, lesson 56. Today, what I want to talk about is Sunday Saver. How do you make or save more money? First thing I want to discuss is loyalty doesn't always pay. And the reason why I say that is this. Generally speaking, and if I look back at my life, my parents signed me up to a Dolomite account, and without naming the bank that comes with a Dolomite account, and anyone that's had one will know straight away, my first home loan was with this bank, right? So just through habit and lifestyle, I've stayed with the same bank. Now, over the years, what I've discovered is that they're not the best rate. Even though they're good, they're not the best rate out there. And so at the end of the day, if you can save yourself $50, $60, $100 a week, open your eyes, explore what opportunities are out there. If it's bank loans, personal loans, credit card deals, anything that you're actually signed up as a membership, don't just stay with them for the sake of staying with them, right? It also goes in with things like stands and Netflix, and more importantly, pay TV. So I remember back in the day when I had pay TV, there was a few times that I wanted to get rid of it. I learned early after the first time that I shouldn't have been paying full price, because as you tell them you want to disconnect, especially pay TV, I don't know if it does now, but I was paying like $100 a month, and they gave me a one-off deal for 12 months, and all I had to pay for was a basic subscription. I did that twice before I disconnected, but then I look back and go, man, I could have saved myself a lot of money by doing that earlier. Don't pay the full price and stay with them just because you always have, because at the end of the day, they won't hesitate to increase the prices and take more money off you. Look for the specials, compare the market, and really call for a discount every 12 months, even if it's with your same bank. For a home loan, every 12 months, make sure it's a habit that you're calling up, asking for a discount, and seeing what they can do better for you. Second thing, negotiation is the key. Make sure, firstly, you always do your research, right? Because the last thing you want to do is be trying to negotiate and go, I can get it for half price down the road, when you can't actually get it for half price down the road. There's certain things that businesses can and can't do. And when they understand that their profit margins and their operational costs wouldn't even cover it, they're going to have to let you walk, right? But if they know that you can get that same car 100 meters down the road for $1,000 or $2,000 cheaper, they're going to be more willing to negotiate and try and see what they can do to keep you on or to get that sale. The other thing is, you might get to a point where you can't actually negotiate any more of a discount, or they're like, look, this is all we can discount. However, you could ask, well, what else could you give me, right? Good example with cars. You might get to a point they're like, we can't go any lower, and you're like, can you throw in free car mats or tinting or something? And they're like, oh, okay, we could do that on top. There's got to be other ways. Don't always look at it as a straight discount, but make sure you're getting the right deal, right? Don't walk out from a business because they won't negotiate anymore when they are the best deal around, because then you're going to have to pay more just for the fact of being stubborn. And I could put my hand up and say that I personally have done that before. Wanted more when I knew it was the best deal, walked out, and then had to pay more money somewhere else because I couldn't let my ego go back there, right? The third thing is managing money is a family thing, right? So it's not just his money, her money, and then they go on their own way. If you're planning on having a future with your husband or wife or partner, talk to them openly about money, right? Because there's a few things, and especially when I was younger, what I realized was you always think the other person has more or does less than what actually in fact happens in reality. Or more importantly, because you get stuck in your habits, so I'll spend my money, you spend your money, because you're not working coherently as a team, you really can't hit those goals together. You know what I mean? So have those open discussions about money. What do you guys want in your future? What do you guys currently have expense-wise? And how you can share the load to help you reach those goals quicker, right? Point number 4, plan to succeed. Now, a lot of this plan to succeed is more around food shopping. but there's a lot of things that you can do that will help, right? Online shopping is a good example. You say you only want to spend $120 a week on food. Online shopping is a perfect way. You get to 130, you can look at your cart and go, what do I need to get rid of right now to get it back down to 120? The other thing is write a list, right? Because the thing is, you go to the shops hungry. Everyone knows this. You go to the shops hungry, you're buying every chocolate special that's at the start of every aisle because you're like, man, I'm hungry. You get out of the shops buying twice as much as what you should have bought because you didn't stick to a list and you just did what you thought and just grabbed it as it is, right? Plan and make sure that you're prepared. The other thing is that when you want to go on a holiday, instead of booking it last minute, how about you plan ahead, right? Because when you're trying to book a flight with whatever carrier it is, and they have 2 or 3 seats left, the chance are you're paying a premium, right? But 6 months earlier, there was deals out. There's the ready deals. You can save yourself $200, $300, $400 on a flight itself. And all these little savings add up. The other thing is you can go on holidays that aren't quite peak season. And again, you're going to save so much money just because you plan ahead. There's always those twilight periods at the start and the end of summer where you can book it and it's still going to be hot. You're still going to get the entire experience you would have 2 weeks later, just sometimes at half the price because you're still paying the off-season payment instead of the on-season, right? Point number 5, revise and review all your expenses, quarterly, every 6 months, or at least once every 12 months. Understand what you currently are paying for and if it actually is suitable. Do you watch Stan every week? And especially I used to say to all my clients at the start of COVID, why do you keep pay TV? And a common response I got off most people was, well, we keep pay TV for the sports. And everyone know that COVID shut down all sports at the start, right? So it's time to get rid of it. The other thing is that any subscription you have, you can always get it again later down the track, right? So for myself, I sign up to KO between the AFL season. As soon as the finals hit, I tend to get rid of it because all the footy games that I want to watch during the finals period is already televised, and I'm like, well, it's pointless just keeping it for the sake of it. If you have a subscription, if it's a TV, a movie, a magazine, an online subscription, a newspaper subscription, if you have these things and aren't reading the paper like every week, or you're not jumping on and watching those TV shows, or you're not actually using what you're paying for, get rid of it. Because they're all going to want to let you come back, right? So don't think if I get rid of it, I could never get it again. And trust me, you're not getting the best deal in the world that you'd actually lose money if you actually disconnected it, right? And the last point number 6, setting goals. So one of the biggest reasons, for setting goals is you're actually creating a purpose for everything else we spoke about, right? Now you think about it, if it was in a diet and in 6 months' time you had to go to a wedding, that makes you a little bit more motivated to jump on that treadmill and start losing that weight. If you've got no reason why you've got to lose 5 or 10 kilos, it makes it really hard to put down those chocolate bars and go for a 5 or 10 kilometer run, correct? Now it's the same with saving money or cutting costs. If you don't have a reason why you're doing it, it makes it very hard to actually get rid of it and stop spending the money. Because let's be honest, when we buy things, we get that instant gratification or that enjoyment of the reward of actually buying something. So when you actually cut that off, your body is like, well, what do I get now, right? The other good thing when you set goals and you actually stay accountable is you get that little endorphin hit when you actually reach your goals. So accountability, goal setting, your focus, because when you actually focus on what you're trying to achieve, it becomes so much easier and you can turn into a game to get there a lot quicker. And probably the last thing is once you start seeing the results, again, that endorphin, that feel-good result or feel-good feeling of actually getting there helps you to then refocus and change your goals or realign your goals and then go again. All right, guys, hope you had a great Sunday. It's good that the sun's out and there's no hail. So enjoy the last couple of hours and let's get cracking.